Hi, I'm going to tune into my guides and see what they have to say about another question. This question again is from my Facebook post where I asked my friends, people that follow my page, to just tell me whatever they'd like me to ask my guides about. And it would be applied to many people, and this is a great question. I'm glad someone asked this. The question we're going to work with is, what is the point of tyranny and fascism in the world? And I'm going to just take a second right now, tune into my guides, and see what they want to start with. I'm always surprised by what my guides say. That's why I like doing this, is what they start with is they are saying that um, they start off with our wanting to hide. They say that fascism gives us an out. It gives us the opportunity to expect and want something or someone else to be accountable for our lives. That when we're in a fascist community or government, whatever that might be, we are subject to the whims of another or a group. And we can be frustrated, we can be angry, we can be um, bitter about our lives and who we are because we are not to blame, or that's what we tell ourselves. None of that is true, of course, they say. And those that are in charge, those that are whether it's a group or one individual, and it's always one individual and a group, making the rules or whatever, the laws, or subjecting us to certain things, they're coming from the place of it's similar, they say, obviously quite different in that, um, you know, we are, when we're not the fascists, when we're under their rule, we're hiding, they say. We are not showing up for ourselves. And the fascists, they say, is also hiding. They're not hiding in the way that we are. I mean, they are in a way, but they say the hiding that the fascist is doing is it's more of a projection. When we're subject to tyranny and fascism, we pull in and we put the blame out there. When we are a fascist, what we're doing is that we are projecting this superiority. We're projecting this false sense of self. We're projecting this idea that somehow we are not who we are. And that's where the hiding comes in, that we're not a vulnerable human, that we're not a human that in some way doesn't have all the answers, that is subject to whatever that might be. Again, it's the opposite of those that are being controlled. Um, that sense of superiority is hiding from their true self also. And it's kind of like two sides of the same coin, they say. It all has to do with hiding and not being in our true power. Because when we're a fascist, or when we're part of this tyranny of, controlling others, um, we're hiding from our true self. We're hiding from our heart. We're hiding from our divine being within us. We're hiding from that part of us that wants to have compassion. And we're living in that fear. That's the fear of just being present to self, to who we truly are, and our vulnerability, and in our divine nature, which is true for those that are being subject to tyranny and fascism, is that we're also hiding from our power. We're hiding from our ability to be responsible. Not that we have to make everything happen in our lives, but be responsible to our spirit, to listen within, to claim whatever, that power that we have. We're hiding from our power. Now, I ask, as I'm talking, I'm asking, how about in the world right now? Is there a significance as to why this has, kind of gotten so much more, stronger and more predominant? And what they're saying is that it's happening now because tyranny and fascism, whether we're allowing that to happen or we are projecting that onto others, controlling others, it all stems from fear, they say. And that fear is more predominant in our world now. They say that it's always been there. It's always been present since the beginning of time, that fear of the unknown, fear of the external world, fear in everything. However, recently it's escalated because of the changes in our climate, the environment, and a big trigger, they say, was COVID too. That COVID, something came out of seemingly nowhere and highly influenced and affected us. Now, some will say that that was all made up, that there was no, need to be alarmed, and some will say, oh, absolutely, there was a lot of need to be alarmed. However, what it did was it escalated our fear, and our fear response has been, at least in this country, part of our fear response is wanting somebody else, wanting a figure that comes onto the stage and tells us, it tells us that the image of a world and the falsity of a world that we want to believe in, that and that the problems we have or what we're confronting is either not real or it's going to be kind of made better or figured out through kind of there's a secretiveness to it too, and we're going to start to see that in the next few years into 25. We're going to start to see it actually quite soon, within just a few months and even less, and we're already seeing it, is a certain amount of secretive new to it. Like, these changes are happening and um, there's not much we can do about it. And we don't know where things are going. We're going to be kept in this grip of, um, there's this power, we're abdicating the power within us. And even those that are acting all powerful are abdicating their true power. It's all about false power now. And, um, and it's escalated. The fear has escalated about the world we're living in and our, basic human biological survival. And so that's been projected onto easy kind, it's gotten out of it. We've gotten further and farther away from who we truly are, who we are in that powerful way, and to our powerful presence and divine being. And we've given too much power to the physical, too much to what we see happening around us. And we don't realize on some deeper level that everything around us changes when we change. That when we connect with the divine within us, when we raise our frequency, when we're able to ascend beyond this kind of chaoticness that we are immersed in, it's going to get even worse. When we raise that frequency, everything changes. It's not the other way around. Everything externally doesn't, what we're used to is everything externally changes, and then we can change. When things are peaceful out there, well, I can relax and be peaceful within. But the challenge that we're in is the opposite, and that is to find that inner peace now within us. And one of the things people ask me a lot, and they ask me, because I talk about this in this new book, is we have to get more in touch with who we truly are, our spirit. And one of the ways that we do that, get in touch of who we truly are, our spirit, is by acknowledging that that is where our power is, that we are, our spirit is this intangible kind of feeling elusive part of us, but it's really not. It's showing up in our life every day. And the more in touch we are, and the more we're aware that we are spirit, and we allow the magic of spirit, that spontaneous manifestation of our needs and wants, which is absolutely possible and tangible. And that's where we're headed. And why is this happening now in the bigger picture? It's because we're ready. It's because we chose to be here at this time to have this, like, we are in the intense course right now. We're in this high level right now of we've decided to come here at this time in order to make this radical shift within ourselves. And that's what we're called to do, because as we make this radical shift within us, and believe it or not, the radical shift is living in peace within us, despite what's happening externally. Doesn't mean we don't care. Doesn't mean that we're not compassionate for the people that are suffering. It doesn't mean that there's not a sadness there or a longing for something different. All of that can coexist with a sense of peace within us, though. That this is part of a bigger scenario than just what's happening, and that we don't have to feel that we can control everything that's happening externally. We can't. We can do our best to be true and honest to our heart, to our own truth, and finding that within us. But the way for shifting externally is shifting within internally. So the point is that the point is transformation, radical transformation. The point is that it's now, it's time that we are being called to make these shifts, and we can't back away from it. We can, but it's not going to go away. It's only going to intensify our fear if we back away from it. We have to choose that fear or love, and that love begins within us. It begins within loving and being kind to ourselves on a daily basis. All right, so that's what they say. Let me see if there's any last message in that. The last message is that we are loved, we are cared for, we are not alone here. We're not alone here. And they got us, they got our back. There's only sweetness, really, truly, it's there. They're kind of holding out this little tray of sweetness, like, take a bite. It's here, it's with you, and it's forever. Okay, we'll get nuts. Next question. I'll do another video. I love doing this. Okay, bye.